Good evening, Wisnoski with SkullCatPodcast. Tonight, let's talk about Brandy and Cognac, right? Two different alcohols within the same category, but they're a little bit different. Still both brandy, different in the sense that brandy worldwide, right? The US, France, Spain, right? Different parts of the world. Cognac, on the other hand, specifically from Cognac, France, okay? It's got to come from the Cognac region of France to be considered cognac. And the reason for that is both brandy and cognac are made from different grapes, right? Fruits, especially with brandy, grapes, apples, pears, fruits like that. Whereas cognac is actually made from grapes that grow within the Cognac region. So, a little bit difference between the two. Again, they're both brandy, but cognac usually more expensive because it has to come from the Cognac region of France, right? Brandy, though, a lot of the cocktails that you're going to be making, they're intertwined. You can use cognac or you can use brandy for either or, okay? Some of the brands you're going to see on the brandy front, you've got Korbel, huge brandy in the United States, right? So here's a fun little tip. Half of Korbel's sales were in Wisconsin. Right here in Wisconsin. Half of all their sales are in Wisconsin. And that's because of the Wisconsin Old Fashioned, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So again, Korbel, another brand, E&J, and St. Remy are other brandies you're going to see. Again, there's a whole bunch of different ones. These are some of the common ones. And on the cognac side, you're going to have Hennessy, big popular name. Henny, right? You've heard Henny. Remy Martin, and I'm going to butcher this, but Consorvier, Courvoisier, I don't know. Another one. There's a bunch of them out there too. Louis the 13th, right? Other cognacs out there. So, just kind of depends on which one you like. Some of the branding you're also going to see on brandies, and especially the cognacs, is they have different grades, right? So you have VS for very special, VSOP for very special old pale, and XO for extra old, okay? Now what these different grades are for is basically how long they're aged, right? So VS is aged for at least 2 years, VSOP aged for at least 4 years, and XO, extra old, for 10 years. So let's go over some of the cocktails you're going to see with these, okay? Now again, you got some real classic ones like the Sidecar. It's in a martini, very popular. A Brandy Alexander, think of it kind of like a White Russian in a martini, but with brandy, right? The Wisconsin Old Fashioned, or the Brandy Old Fashioned, right? This is a twist on the classic Old Fashioned, which is primarily whiskey or bourbon, but the Wisconsin Old Fashioned, we make it sweet, we muddle fruit in it, we've got the cherry, we've got simple syrup, some bitters, an orange slice, muddle it all in, put the brandy in, usually top it with Sprite to make it even sweeter. The Wisconsin Brandy Old Fashioned is pretty much this state's official drink, all right? The Brandy Old Fashioned. Pretty decent, good drink too. It's not bad, right? And then for those club settings, you have the Incredible Hulk, which is usually Hennessy and Blue Hypnotic, right? It makes the drink turn green. And it's a killer, man. You drink one of those, you're turning into the Incredible Hulk, because it's a strong drink. It's a stiff drink. But really just a quick guide on some brandy, right? Brandy, cognac. When you think of cognac, think of France. When you think of brandy, pretty much everywhere else. Now, there are brandies that are from France that don't fit within the cognac line because, again, France law, and basically just the requirements from France for it to be cognac has to be within the cognac region, used with the grapes that are grown in the cognac region. And anything outside of cognac, France, is brandy, okay? It's kind of like champagne, right? Champagne, originally Champagne, France. Anything outside of Champagne, France, technically can't be called champagne. It's sparkling. Again, quick, dirty guide on some brandy and cognac. Nothing crazy. Don't want to waste your time. Let's give you the information you need as a bartender or as a guest patron. If any of this was valuable, cool. Leave a comment. Let me know. Subscribe. Hang out. Let's get some more videos going. Let's wrap up this series. I've got one more left coming up. And then after that, bam, back to some other content. So enjoy it. Wisnoski, SkullCatPodcast. Have yourself a great night.